Sagittarius. For decades, I've read birth charts. I've seen strange turns of destiny, unexpected twists, but never, not once, have I had to stop, place my hand over my heart, and take a long breath, the way I did when I looked into your energy today. When I prayed for a sign, a light appeared. Archangel Michael spoke, and what came through was enough to make anyone pause, because it wasn't just a warning. It was a sacred calling meant only for Sagittarius. In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you a truth that no one else is being given right now. Who is moving toward you? Who is trying to find you to complete the soul mission the two of you signed long ago? And why your destiny is shifting so fast, so powerfully, that even you may not recognize yourself in the weeks to come. Stay until the very end, because every word I'm about to say is connected to a sign crafted specifically for you, the one who carries the arrow of truth. And if you can feel this energy touching you, even just a little, leave a comment. I am ready to receive my great destiny. It isn't just a sentence. It's the signal you send to the universe, telling it that Sagittarius is ready to step into the next chapter. And now, let me tell you the real reason Archangel Michael has appeared in your energy at this exact moment. There is something I want you, as a Sagittarius, to pause and really feel. Your energy is changing, and it's not the kind of change that comes on an ordinary day. It's the change of a soul entering a new stage of awakening. I know this, not from guessing, but from your chart itself, where Jupiter, your ruling planet, has moved into a rare alignment, opening the soul axis that connects your first house, your ninth house, and your 10th. You may not see the difference on the surface yet, but deep underneath, the layers of your energy are being reshaped, and this new vibration, this pulse rising from inside you, is exactly why Archangel Michael appeared. Jupiter isn't just the planet of expansion. It's the planet of grace, of truth, of divine favor, of spiritual protection. And when Jupiter activates House 1, the self, House 9, your beliefs and higher mind, and House 10, your life path, it means one thing: Sagittarius will not live the way they used to. You're being given a new mission, a new path, a new identity that comes from the core of your soul. I've read thousands of charts across my lifetime, and I can tell you this with absolute honesty. When Jupiter lights up the soul axis like this, a Sagittarius life will turn in a direction that cannot be reversed. Not everyone is fortunate enough to receive Jupiter's full illumination, and not everyone is strong enough to move through this transition. But you, Sagittarius, you are one of the few. Jupiter illuminates you, not to make your life easier, but to make your life truer. Truer to your essence, truer to your purpose, truer to the deepest voice inside you. Have you noticed lately that you're more sensitive to anything that isn't honest, words that feel half true, relationships without roots, actions that lack integrity, situations that don't match your spirit? That is the first sign of a Sagittarius awakening. Your light is rising, and Sagittarius light is not soft. It burns, it exposes, it clears away anything that doesn't belong. And because of that, when your light increases, the shadows notice. In American spiritual tradition, they often say, when light rises, the darkness will always test. Not to frighten you, but to see if you're worthy of carrying the flame. And with every part of my heart, with all the experience I've gathered through my lifetime of reading charts, I believe Sagittarius is worthy. Let me share something very personal with you. In astrology, no sign endures loneliness the way Sagittarius does. People often see your laughter, your open smile, your boldness, your freedom. They don't see the nights you wondered if you were on the right path, the crossroads you faced with no guidance, the moments you felt misunderstood, unheard, unseen. And even though you're strong, there are still moments when your heart aches in ways no one else will ever know. You've always been the one who brings light to others, but rarely has anyone brought light to you. And that is why Jupiter activating House 1 is a blessing. It gives you permission to receive, permission to be supported, permission to be lifted by the universe itself. Remember this: you were strong in the dark, even when no one saw it. You stayed kind, even when people misread your intentions. You chose truth, even when it made you lonely. And now, finally, the sky stands with you. If you feel this truth in your energy, write one simple line. I allow my light to be seen. It's not just a statement, it's permission, a key, a doorway unlocking inside you. But there's something deeper I want you to understand. A human truth I always remind anyone who carries Sagittarius energy. Light is not meant to prove itself. Light is meant to illuminate the path. People who are wounded, people who are jealous, people who fear you might move ahead of them. They don't hate you. They hate the feeling of being left behind. They hate the truth you accidentally shine onto their lives. You didn't do anything wrong. You simply dared to live honestly. In a world that isn't always ready to look at honesty, Sagittarius was never born to hide in the shadows. You were born to walk into the open square, to say what needs to be said, to live what needs to be lived, to do what most signs only dare to dream about. And Jupiter knows that. The universe knows that. Archangel Michael knows that too. That is why he speaks now. Jupiter in the 9th house is pulling you back to the origin of your soul, restoring the intuition you lost during the months when you were exhausted, drained, pushed beyond your limit. Have you felt the urge to learn something new, to expand, to explore, to leave behind the thing that has been holding you back? That's not impulsiveness. That's the call. Jupiter is opening a path for you to break through limits you never realized were there, to become the version of yourself your soul agreed to be long before you were born. But the most powerful part is Jupiter activating your 10th house, the house of destiny, purpose, and the mark you leave on this world. And that means your time has come, the time to step into the role you were born to hold, the time to become what others only quietly wish they could be, the time to live your truth without asking permission, without hesitating, without shrinking. Let me emphasize this. When Jupiter touches the 10th house, it doesn't just open opportunities, it opens destiny. And this is also the moment when opposing energies begin to move. There is a force or a person who doesn't want you to rise that far, not because they are powerful, but because they are afraid you'll move faster than they can. And that is exactly why Archangel Michael intervenes. If you're still here with me, let your soul confirm it. Leave a comment. I know I am protected. Let that protective energy wrap around you. And now, I want you to prepare, because in the next part, I'll talk about something very few people truly understand. Who is coming toward Sagittarius? Why are they appearing at the exact moment Jupiter opens your soul axis? And why is this connection important enough for the heavens themselves to intervene? I'll tell you that next. Don't look away. This is where the real story begins. There are strange moments in life. Moments when you feel someone's presence, even though there's no reason for it. A faint sensation, subtle, like a small breeze brushing against your skin, then disappearing, an invisible gaze, a feeling that someone, somewhere, just said your name. Sometimes, you pause in the middle of an ordinary task, because something in your chest pulls you, a tug you can't explain, and you wonder, why am I thinking of that person right now? It's not random, Sagittarius. It's a signal. And today, I want to help you understand why it's happening. If you look at your chart right now, you'll notice something unusual. The 7th house, the 9th house, and the 12th house are forming a very specific energetic pattern, a spiral, a pull. And this alignment always points to one thing. Someone is coming toward you, not in the physical way, but in a soul way. The 7th house represents the true partner, the one who belongs beside you, not the temporary people who pass through your life, but the soul with a bond so deep that even time and distance cannot break it. The 9th house represents the journey of the soul awakening, expanded awareness, a higher meaning. And the 12th house, that is the house of past life bonds, unfinished promises, and the invisible threads that connect one soul to another across lifetimes. When these three houses link, it is never coincidence. It is a sign that a soul, a connection, a promise, is finding its way back to you. Let me slow my voice here, because I want you to feel this, not just hear it. You are not imagining it. Your soul recognized this connection long before your mind could understand it. Have you ever found yourself thinking of someone without reason? Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night because you felt someone calling you from a place you couldn't name? Have you ever seen a memory flash by one that doesn't seem to belong to this lifetime? If you've felt these things, then that person is the thread from your 12th house reaching toward you, and they are finding their way to you. In astrology, whenever the 12th house opens, it acts like a doorway between the conscious and the unconscious becoming more active. You may feel yourself becoming more sensitive to signals that feel faint or unclear. A sudden intuition, a passing image, a soft calling, a strange longing with no obvious source, a familiar feeling towards someone you can't explain. The 9th house, when it connects at this moment, amplifies your intuition, making you notice signs you would have ignored before. And the 7th house, that is the doorway of the one person, the soul who matters to your path. These 3 houses do not link together often, but when they do, it means a soul, carrying a promise from another lifetime, is directing their energy toward you. This person could be someone you once loved but lost contact with, someone you met only briefly, but the connection didn't have time to unfold, a past life soul carrying an unfinished vow, or someone you've never met in this lifetime yet your souls agreed to each other long before you were born. Whoever they are moving closer, not through words, not through action, but through energy, a connection that is subtle and soft, yet unmistakably real. I want to share something personal with you, something I've learned through decades of doing this work. A soul never comes back to us unless the bond has value. The universe does not waste energy. If someone is returning to Sagittarius, it means they carry a missing piece. You will need to step into the next chapter of your life. They may not be perfect. They may still have karma to resolve. They may not be fully ready, but the connection between you always holds meaning that goes beyond time and logic. And in the days ahead, you're going to feel that more clearly. I want you to pause, just for a moment, and ask yourself, am I sensing someone in an unusual way? If the answer is yes, just leave a single dot in the comments. No explanation needed, just one simple mark. So I know your energy is connecting with what I'm seeing. There is something beautiful about Sagittarius souls. You always meet life with an open heart. You don't live halfway. You don't love halfway. You don't promise halfway. When you connect with someone, you connect with your whole truth, your entire spirit. And that authenticity is the very thing that draws a soul back to you, even when you're not trying. You are simply being who you are. A nature many souls dream of touching. Honest, generous, radiant. But because of that light, this connection will not be all beauty. There will also be a challenge, because alongside the person moving toward you, there is another force or another person trying to prevent this. Not because they're stronger than you, but because they fear losing control. They fear you remembering who you are. They fear you stepping into a bond that could make you shine even brighter. And the story of that force, we will talk about in the next part. But before we end this section, I want you to take this in like a whisper, meant only for the Sagittarius heart. Soul connections always find the right person, even if they're delayed, even if they're interrupted, even if they're misunderstood. The energy will still pull the two of you in the same direction. If this feels true to the point of chills, right, I am listening to my soul. I want to see how many Sagittarians are truly awakening. And now, I need you to prepare yourself, because the next part is something I know not everyone is ready to hear. It's not just one person coming toward you. There is another energy trying to stop it. And the reason behind it goes much deeper than you think. We're going to step into that now. There are moments in life when your light suddenly rises, and you can't explain why. You're not trying harder. You haven't made any huge change. You're living your days the same way you always have. Yet deep inside, there's this quiet certainty. You are stronger, brighter, clearer, and calmer than ever. But here's the part no one tells you. When your light increases, the shadows wake up too. Not to harm you, not to frighten you, but to test whether that light truly belongs to you. In astrology, The 12th house is known as the house of karma, the place where old wounds, buried fears, and energies you thought you left behind still sleep. And when Sagittarius enters the awakening phase triggered by Jupiter, the 12th house begins to vibrate in a very particular way. It doesn't open to drown you. It opens to free you. And when old energies rise, your heart may face something it wasn't prepared for. People who once felt secretly jealous of you start to show it. People who once dismissed you begin to feel uneasy. People who wanted to pull you down suddenly grow restless. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your light, quiet, steady, unbothered is exposing the darkness inside them. I want you to hold this gently, like a reminder meant for the Sagittarius heart. This world is full of wounded people. And sometimes, wounded people wound others. Not because they're evil, but because they don't know how to heal. No one taught them how to love. No one taught them how to trust. No one taught them how to face the fear living inside them. And when they look at you freer than they are, more generous than they are, brighter than they are, their hurt rises. They don't know how to deal with it. So they react the only way they know how. Jealousy, criticism, projection, trying to make you doubt yourself. But the beauty of Sagittarius is this. You don't hate them. Even when you're hurt, you still keep your compassion. Even when they don't wish good things for you, you still wish good things for them. Even when they exhaust you, you don't lose your kindness. You are not the kind of light created for revenge. You are the kind of light created to guide. And because of that, the darkness cannot touch you for long. It rises only to prove you've already risen above it. Maybe recently, you've felt like someone from your past is watching you again. Maybe a family member, or an old friend, someone you once helped, someone you stood by, someone you thought would never turn away from you, but they did. And now, seeing you stronger, clearer, brighter, they feel insecure. Their jealousy isn't because you're wrong. It's because they don't understand how you, after everything, are still standing, still smiling, still living with beauty. An unhealed person will always fear the sight of someone who has healed. The 12th house, when activated, speaks not only of personal karma, but family karma too. This is where ancestral wounds rise to the surface. The silence passed down through generations. The unfairness no one spoke about. The memories that were forgotten, but never released. Not to blame anyone. Not to reopen old pain. But so you, Sagittarius, can be the first to break the cycle. You are not just healing for yourself. You are healing for those who came before you. And those who will come after you. And because the mission is so big, sometimes you feel alone, but that loneliness isn't because you lack people, it's because you are walking one step ahead of them. Still, there is something. You must know something profoundly important. You are not alone, not even for one moment. Even when you feel like you're fighting invisible energies, even when you feel misunderstood, doubted, or pulled back by unseen strings, you are not alone. There is a protective force around you far stronger than anything you can see with your eyes. You may not see it, but your soul feels it. You may not hear it, but your heart knows it's there. People who carry the mission of light, like Sagittarius, are always given special protection. And that protection comes from within you, and from the unseen world that walks beside you. And now, I want to tell you this gently. That dark energy you've been sensing isn't a threat. It's a sign that you're stepping into a chapter most people never get the chance to enter. A chapter reserved for souls strong enough to look at the darkness without fear, and bright enough to not be swallowed by it. Sagittarius, you were born to rise above all of this. You were born to walk through the shadows, and still keep the fire in your heart. You were born to prove that real light never goes out, no matter how many times it's tested. You were born to be a pathfinder. And the darkness knows that. That's why it approaches. Not to defeat you, but to remind you. Stand firm. Because you are about to step into a new tier of light. But here's what you don't know. And what I'm about to say. You are not fighting the darkness alone. There is a presence around you. A holy protection. A power very few people ever get to touch. And the role of Archangel Michael in all of this is stronger than you think. You're about to understand why he speaks. and why the protection around Sagittarius is so powerful. I will reveal that in the very next part. There are moments in life when silence becomes so thick, you can hear the sound of your own heartbeat. Moments when you realize that what you're experiencing isn't just the change of a person, but the movement of an entire soul. And in moments like that, some souls are called, some souls are lifted, some souls are protected. Sagittarius is one of them. I want you to take a deep breath, because what I'm about to say is not just astrology. It's truth written in the spiritual realms. Not everyone is called, but you, Sagittarius, you have been seen. In American spiritual tradition, Archangel Michael is not just a symbol. He is the warrior of light, the one who stands between the realms of truth and shadow, and protects the souls who refuse to give up on what is real. Any soul that lives authentically is seen by him. Any soul that carries light is uplifted by him. Any soul that stands for truth is protected by him. And you, Sagittarius, you're stepping into that very stage, the stage of the warrior of truth, a warrior with no sword, a warrior with no armor, a warrior who walks through life with a heart unafraid of light and unafraid of darkness. A warrior of truth is the one who speaks what others are too afraid to say, the one who walks into crossroads others avoid, the one who looks at truth even when it is difficult to accept. And why are you being called into this role? Because Jupiter, your ruling planet, has placed its light directly on your soul axis, the meeting point of the first house, the ninth house, and the 10th house. Identity, soul purpose, public mission, a rare alignment, and when it appears, it signals a summoning. But I know you might be asking yourself, I didn't do anything big, so why me? Why now? Why at this moment in my life? Sagittarius, that is the miracle of the universe. A soul doesn't need to do something grand to be chosen. A soul only needs to keep its light alive. Even when the world tries to put it out, a soul only needs to stay honest, even when life becomes hard. And you've done that, quietly, patiently, without applause. Life may not have been fair, people may not have noticed, but the universe noticed. Archangel Michael noticed. He spoke not to frighten you, but to confirm you. To confirm that you are on the right path. To confirm that your light is opening. To confirm that you have walked through the darkness and did not lose yourself. And not everyone can do that. I want you to hear this with your whole heart. Not everyone is chosen, but you were seen. You were seen even in the moments you felt invisible. You were heard even when you didn't speak a single word. You were lifted even when you thought you were just trying to survive. The strongest souls are often the ones who think they're weak, because they've spent their entire lives learning how to rise alone, how to stand back up, how to heal themselves, how to carry their own pain quietly, how to rebuild a life from pieces no one else knew were broken. And you are one of those souls. Real warriors of light rarely know they are warriors. They only know they cannot turn their back on truth. They cannot abandon what is right. They cannot silence the voice that speaks from within. That is the mark of a warrior of truth. And you, Sagittarius, carry that mark. You may have asked yourself, why do I always have to be strong? Why do I have to move through so many trials? Why is my heart so big and so easily wounded? Because only the souls forged in fire can carry the kind of light that others can follow. Archangel Michael does not choose perfect souls. He chooses persistent ones. Souls who know pain, yet refuse to let pain change who they are. Souls who know loss, yet still believe in miracles. Souls who know disappointment, yet never lose their kindness. That is you, Sagittarius. And right now, as Jupiter opens the axis of your soul, Michael steps forward for one purpose: to place a shield around you, not to protect you from life, but to protect you so you can fulfill your mission. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself, is there something bigger waiting for me? If your heart trembles, write this sentence: I am ready to step into my light. It is not just a comment, it is a doorway, an agreement, a signal that Michael will hear. And now, gently, I want to take you into something you may not be ready to hear, but your heart needs to know. Michael's appearance always comes with transformation. A destiny opening, a direction shifting, a door that was once locked, beginning to glow. When I looked at your chart, I had to pause, not because it was frightening, but because what I saw was too large for words. An event, a connection, a door, a spiritual gift. Something is approaching you faster than you think, and I'll tell you everything. In the next chapter, the chapter I call, The Moment I Nearly Fainted When I Saw Your Future. Are you ready to walk into that part? When a soul crosses a new threshold, everything in their chart begins to move in ways that are difficult to put into language. And when I looked at the energy of Sagittarius right now, the thing that made me almost hold my breath was this. Your future is opening in a rare, powerful stream. Not a gentle shift, but a breakthrough, a rising, a surge of energy pushing you from shadow straight into the center of your own light. The 10th house is glowing. That means your career, your public role, your place in society is entering a completely new phase. Everything that was delayed is beginning to flow. Doors that were shut tight are cracking open. People who never noticed you are now turning toward you, not because they suddenly changed, but because your light has changed. There are moments when recognition doesn't come from effort, but from destiny reaching maturity. You are standing in that moment now. Your path is no longer moving in small steps. It is being lifted almost as if an unseen hand is raising you from the ground and placing you where you were meant to stand long ago. And then the second house begins to glow. And this is far more important than you think. Because the second house isn't only about money, it's about self-worth. When the second house opens, it means life is finally ready to pay you for the light you've been carrying all along. The silent years of endurance, the moments you were taken for granted, the times you questioned whether people saw your value. All of it is coming to an end. You're starting to receive in equal measure to what you've given. No more doing everything while receiving almost nothing. No more giving your whole heart and receiving indifference in return. The second house brings the stability your soul needs so you can rise higher. It may come as an unexpected financial opportunity, a new income stream, a collaboration, a position that finally pays you what you're worth, or a material blessing that looks random, but has actually been written for you long ago. When your finances stand firm, your heart stands firm. And you are entering that phase now. But the most beautiful part comes from the 5th house opening. The 5th house is where the heart heals, where joy returns, where creativity awakens, where the soul finally breathes after long exhaustion. If your heart has felt heavy, if you forgot what joy feels like, if you lost the innocence that is such a beautiful part of Sagittarius, this is the moment you get it back. Not through loud excitement, but through a soft, deep, genuine kind of joy. When the 5th house opens, you begin to feel interested again in things that once felt numb. Your heart begins to open, slowly, but steadily. You may meet someone who warms your spirit again, who makes you smile without effort, who reminds you that you deserve a kind of love that is real, whole, and safe. The 5th house awakens the joy of living. And for Sagittarius, joy is the greatest fuel for creating your future. All of this points to a truth you've waited a long time to hear. You're stepping out of survival and stepping into creation. No more fighting to stay afloat. No more pretending to be fine. No more holding everything together with invisible strength. This is not the season of effort. This is the season of blooming. You are no longer being pushed by hardship. You are being lifted by light. And this does not happen for everyone. It only happens for souls who crossed darkness and still kept their kindness. If there is one human lesson you must carve into your heart right now, it's this: strength isn't about never falling. Strength is rising with a heart that still believes in the light. You have fallen. You have hurt. You have been disappointed. You have lost. You have carried more than anyone knows. And yet, you still stand. You still love. You still care. You still believe. And because of that, you deserve everything that is moving toward you. When I look at your energy, I see something deeply moving. You have endured far too much for far too long. It is time to be lifted. It is time to be seen. It is time to be valued. It is time to be loved in the way your soul has always deserved. It is time for life to return what you have quietly protected inside yourself all this time. But there is something I want you to prepare your heart for. The greatest gift in your future is not in your career, not in money, not in material opportunity. Those are just the surface. The true gift lies in a sacred promise you made with the universe long ago. A promise that hasn't been fulfilled yet. A connection that hasn't been completed. A spiritual offering held back until the right moment. And that moment is now. In the next part, I'll speak about that promise. It is something that made me pause for a long time when I looked at your chart. Something that made me understand why Archangel Michael stepped forward. Something that comes from a place you've never touched with the mind, but your soul has known for ages. There are things in life that cannot be explained by logic, yet the soul understands them with perfect clarity. Those moments, when you feel someone behind you, even though no one is there, the sudden warmth in your chest on an ordinary day, the coincidences that repeat themselves until you can no longer call them coincidence. These things happen when your fourth house is illuminated. The fourth house isn't only about home or family. It is the gateway connecting you to your ancestors, to the ones who walked before you, to the invisible guardians who watch over you. From behind the veil your eyes cannot cross. When the fourth house activates, it is a sign that you're being reminded of your spiritual origin. Not the origin of blood, but the origin of spirit. You do not only belong to the family you were born into. You belong to a larger current. A lineage where every soul is guided, watched over, and protected in its own unique way. Perhaps you've felt more sensitive lately to invisible signals. A familiar song appears at the exact moment you need it. A number repeats 3 times and makes your heart flutter. A dream feels like it's trying to tell you something. A sudden intuition is so strong that you have to stop everything just to breathe. These moments are not random. They are messages. They are signs. They are the ways the spiritual world reaches out and touches you. Not everyone notices these things, but you do, Sagittarius. You notice because you're entering a phase where the veil between 2 worlds grows thinner. The souls who protected you when you were small. The ones who left the physical world, but never left your energy. The ancestors who carried prayers meant for the generations after them. All of them are waking, forming a circle of protection around you. You may not see them, but that doesn't make them disappear. You may not hear them, but that doesn't mean they're silent. You may not feel them every day, but they have never stopped being here. You have never walked this path alone, even when loneliness convinced you that you did. The loneliness you feel is only a sensation. The protection you receive is the truth. Perhaps you've looked back at your life and wondered how you survived the darkest chapters. How you made it through the nights when you felt you were collapsing inside. How you remained standing, still able to see light, even when everything around you dimmed. The answer isn't only your strength. It's also the invisible hands that held you at the exact second you would have fallen. The eyes that never stopped watching over you. The prayers you never heard. The small miracles that showed up the moment you needed them most. This invisible protection isn't superstition. It is a part of the fourth house. Many American astrologers call it the house of soul origin, the place where all protection begins. When the fourth house is active, your soul feels plugged into a higher current, a deeper awareness, a space where you're reminded you belong to something larger than yourself. And in this moment, as you step into a new destiny, that protection becomes stronger than ever. If you can feel even a small part of what I'm saying, write these simple words. I know I am protected. Not for me to see, but so the universe knows you've opened, you've listened, and you've accepted the support that has been yours all along. Sagittarius souls are strong, but strength doesn't mean walking alone. Strength means knowing when to stand firm and when to lean into something greater. Strength means understanding that you were born with a mission, but you were never meant to carry that mission alone. There is something I want you to feel deeply. The repeating coincidences in your life, the strange meetings, the words that hit your heart with perfect timing, the signs that appear again and again, these are how the spiritual world guides you. They don't use words. They use signs, intuition, patterns. things only your heart can hear. And all of these signs are growing stronger now. Not to confuse you, but to show you the road ahead is prepared. You no longer have to walk in the dark. The light has been lit outside of you and within you. Because the next chapter of your journey is what made me pause for a long time when I looked at your chart. Something that even I, after reading thousands of charts, had to sit with in silence. Something not only astrological, but spiritual. Something so big that without protection, you wouldn't be ready to step into it. And now, let me tell you what made me stop when I read your chart. There are moments in life that make no sound, yet shake the entire soul. Moments when you realize you are no longer the person you were yesterday. When I looked at the chart of Sagittarius, I knew immediately you were stepping into such a moment. Jupiter and the Sun are illuminating both your first house and your ninth house at the same time. And this combination is rare. Whenever it appears, it delivers a single message. It is time for the soul to awaken. Awakening is not an explosion. It is an opening, a clarity inside you, a quiet voice rising from within saying you are ready to see the truth of who you are, ready to shed old layers, ready to release what was never yours to carry, ready to stand with a new understanding of your life. When the first house and ninth house light up together, you begin to know exactly who you are, what you need, where you're going, and why you were born at this precise moment in time. Things that were once blurry become clean and sharp. Doubts that used to hold you back dissolve like morning fog. Questions that once felt heavy suddenly resolve themselves with unexpected ease. This is not the time for you to search for the path. This is the time when the path finds you. You may not realize it yet, but deep inside, a new version of you is waking up. A version that is stronger, yet softer. More grounded, yet more willing to let go. A version that knows its worth so clearly. It no longer fears losing anything. A version that understands you were never born to shrink yourself just to make someone else comfortable. You came here to live fully, to experience, to love, to leave a mark, and above all, to complete your purpose. Sagittarius, you are not here by accident. The pain you carried, the challenges you survived, the encounters you once thought were random, they have all led you to this moment. You are part of something larger, a design, a map, a plan that only reveals its meaning when your soul begins to awaken. And if these words make your heart warm for even a second, if something deep inside you stirs, if you feel as though you're finally hearing something you were meant to hear long ago, then let me know that this energy is reaching you. If you feel these words arriving at the exact moment you needed them, leave a confirmation. Just one simple line. I am ready to awaken. And if you can sense the light opening around you, take one small breath and one small action. Not for me, but for yourself. Leave a like, share this message with someone who needs it. Because when you spread your light, that light returns to you in ways you could never predict. That is the nature of energy. What you give, the universe multiplies. Before we end this chapter, I want you to hold on to one final truth. What's coming toward you is not random, and you weren't guided here just to hear a beautiful message. You were guided here to receive a reminder, and to prepare for what comes next. Because in the next video, I will talk about the person who is about to enter your life. The one who carries a soul contract that hasn't been completed. The one whose arrival will change your destiny in a way that cannot be reversed. A meeting written long before either of you arrived in this world. And when that moment comes, you will finally understand why every challenge, every heartbreak, every lesson led you right here. Let me tell you that story in the next chapter. All you need to do is say that you are ready.